Ukraine's military says it shot down 26 Russian drone attacks launched overnight Thursday. Officials say the Iranian-made drones were destroyed over parts of eastern, southern, and southeastern Ukraine. As you can see here, residential areas in the Zaporizhzhia region have been severely damaged. But in order to continue fighting back against Russian forces, President Volodymyr Zelenskyy told our Charlie D'Agata that he needs more U.S. aid. However, Congress continues to prioritize other items on its agenda.
Mr. President, I want to ask you, first of all, can you describe what the frontline fighting is like as we head into spring?
What's going on now on the front line?
Yeah.
Okay, so the situation is we stabilized it on the east. It's better than it was 2 months ago, 3 months, when we had a big deficit of artillery, ammunition, different kinds of weapons.
So you've stabilized it.
We stabilized there.
But one thing that strikes me is you're defiant still. You seem more frustrated than optimistic now.
No.
No?
Oh,
I got
no.
that wrong.
Yes.
You're still optimistic.
No, I'm normal. I'm optimistic because this is only one plan how to survive, to be strong, to be not only optimistic. It's not optimism. I think we are realistic. We are realistic, and we have to be realistic.
There's no indication that President Putin will ever give up. Can you win while he's still alive or in power?
Yes, because when he will lose our territories, even small villages, village by village, he will lose support in Russia. And for us, it's enough.
As we sit here today, you're still fully confident Ukraine can take back all of the Russian-held territory, including Crimea? If you had all the weapons that you needed, you could achieve that goal.
I think if we will go forward, if we will have enough weapon and enough support from our partners, and if, like I said, all the economical trade between Russia and other countries will block, so it's not only, military steps. To win, it means to help Ukraine win economically, be strong on the battlefield, with sanctions and politically.
Last month, you said if we have American support, we will win. If we don't have American support, we will lose.
It's true.
Simple as that. Ukraine will lose.
But it's not. But it's not simple. Yeah. Yes, of course we will lose. Not one day. Of course we will lose some our territories and etc. But totally it. Для нас це буде великий виклик. Як потім повертати все? Бо це великі жертви повертати. Повертати території – це втрачати людей. Люди, якщо чесно, важливіше.
And Charlie joins us now from Kyiv. Charlie, we know that President Zelenskyy spoke with Speaker of the House Mike Johnson on Thursday. What did he tell you that his message was to U.S. lawmakers?
Well, John, in his words, he said that $60 billion aid package should have been approved yesterday. What's going on here is a threat to the whole world. Putin doesn't care how many more victims there will be here or anywhere else in order to get what he wants. I'm quoting him here. He says he won't stop in Ukraine. He won't stop with the victims of Ukraine. He's going to pull NATO into the war. And that will be a threat to U.S. soldiers who will then be obliged to defend NATO countries. It's like fight now or fight later. He still insists to us that Russia can be defeated, but he told us with support from the U.S., Ukraine will win, but without that support, they'll lose, at least in the short term.
Zelenskyy has worked so hard to keep the world focused on what's happened after the invasion. What did he tell you about whether he believes the fighting in Gaza has distracted attention away from the war in Ukraine?
Yeah, well, John, we asked him that directly. He said, first and foremost, and he was pointed about this, he said, we have to understand that this is a humanitarian disaster. Victims of a war is a terrible thing no matter where it happens. But in terms of drawing attention away from here, he said, obviously, that's good for Russia, especially when it comes to military support, financial support. And he says Russia has exploited that. He said there's actually been an increase in attacks since the war in Gaza began. But he said that no two wars are the same. He said this is a full-scale war against a global threat. It's been going on for more than 2 years with worldwide repercussions. He repeated what we've heard several times. This is about democracy, freedom, etc. And he admitted to us that the world might be getting tired of those words. But for those people who are not at war in those words, who don't know what war is, who have never lost a child or his or her children to war, that is where it lands.
Charlie, you've covered this war now in all of its ugliness, and you've watched Zelenskyy. What was your sense? He says the world is getting tired. What's your sense of him over the time that you've watched him?
Yeah, it's a good question, John. You know, the world is getting tired. Nobody's more tired of this conflict than Ukrainians themselves. But when we met him yesterday, he seemed upbeat. He was energized. I wanted to think that he was frustrated, as you saw in that our little interchange there. And he said no. He is. He's frustrated because he wants to continue to try to rally the troops, literally rally the troops here in Ukraine, but also rally support in the United States and around the globe while this other conflict is going on throughout the Middle East. And he's aware of that. But we are facing a critical time as far as President Zelenskyy is concerned, because they ran very low on ammunition over the winter. They managed to keep the Russians at bay. But what they're worried about is what's going to come. And especially, I can tell you, overnight, we had several air raid sirens here and in eastern Ukraine. A couple dozen drones had come in. They had been intercepted. A couple got through. Air defense systems are the most important issue here.
Charlie Daggett with a critical interview at a critical time in Kyiv. Thank you so much, Charlie.